Hello, fifth grade, and welcome to the second math lesson this week. Our first week of February. Pull out the second page in your packet that says 5.6 homework at the top. Today we're going to be looking at how to divide decimal numbers by whole numbers, okay? Similar to what we covered yesterday, but with one little change. Let's jump into it. First off, let's remember the dividend goes in the box. Dividend is in the den. The divisor is under the visor. It's out of the box. And the quotient is the queen in the attic. Remember, all of that is based off of this great division bar, which we can imagine as a house. All right? Well, first thing we're going to do. First thing Mr. Ivan's going to do is get us right back on the right page. There we go. All right, so let's put our division bar up here. Let's look at number 1. It says 6 and 57 hundredths is my dividend. My divisor is 9. Okay, now when we operate with decimals, guys, the first thing we got to do is we've got to bring that decimal point straight up. So the decimal point, I'm going to make it really big so you can see it, straight up. This is why I have you work on lined paper too, so you can see everything clearly. All right, now that I have that decimal straight up, I'm going to divide just like as if it's regular numbers. So let's look at this first number, 6. Can 9 fit inside of 6? No. Go to 0. Go over to 65. Can 9 fit inside of 65? Remember, use your tens chart if you need help. Go to the 9 and go down. Do I see 65? No, but I see 63. That's pretty close, and it's right under. 9 times what equals 63? 9 times 7 equals 63. Very good. Remember, what's our chant? Divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. So we divided. Let's multiply. 9 times 7 is 63. Put that down here. Divide, multiply, subtract. Subtract 65 from 63. And in case you're getting confused by this extra line, let's get rid of that. All right. 65 subtract 63, that is 2. Divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. Bring down that 7. 27. All right, can 9 fit inside of 27? Let's look at our tens chart. Yeah, it does. 9 times what is 27? 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 3 is 27. Divide, multiply, subtract. 27, take away 27 is 0. Hey, that works out. Now that I have 0, I can say amen and say my answer, my quotient, the queen on top, is 73 hundredths. All right, now let's ramp it up, fifth grade. Let's look at one that's a little bit harder. Let's take a look at number 7. Got my division bar. 431 and 1/10 is a dividend. My divisor is 45. All right. Remember, what is the first thing I need to do? I need to bring that decimal point straight up into my quotient so I don't forget. All right. Now let's start crunching the numbers. Can 45 fit inside of 4? No. 0. Can 45 fit inside of 43? No. 0. So now I'm going to go all the way over to 431. Well, remember, how do I know how many times 45 fits in the 431? Well, down at the bottom, I'm going to do a little method called guess and check. Do two-step multiplication. Let's try to make an educated guess out of this, right? 45, if I were to round up to the nearest 10, what would I get? 50, very good. Okay, so 50 times what would be 430? Let's look at our tens chart. 5 times what? Hey, 5 times 9 is 45. 5 times 8 is 40. Let's try that 9. So let's do 45 times 9. And we're just checking 5th grade to see if it works. Okay, let's do the two-step. 9 times 5 is 45. Write the 5, carry the 4. 9 times 4 is 36. 36 plus 4 is 40. I got 405. Is that smaller than 431? It is. Could I fit another 45 into there? Well, if I take 405 plus 45, it's going to give me 450, which is too big. So let's erase this line. Let's put our 405 down here. And let's put our 9 up in the quotient. Now I'm going to, remember if you're working on lined paper, this is all off to the side. But since I've just got my little whiteboard, I'm going to erase that. All right, 9 times 45 is 405. Divide, multiply, subtract. 431 subtract 405. Let's do a little subtraction. 1 subtract 5, can't do that. Borrow from the 3. 3 becomes a 2. 1 becomes 11. 11 take away 5 is 6. 2 take away nothing is 2. 4 take away 4 is 0. Now what do? Say it with me. Divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down 261. All right, can 45 fit into 261? Well, I know that 9 is way too big. So let's look back at our tens chart. We know that 45 is pretty close to 5. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25. Let's try that. Because if I get 25, that'd be pretty good. So let's, down here, let's do our little two-step multiplication. 45 times 5. Let's check. Say with me. 5 times 5 is 25. Write the 5, carry the 2. 5 times 4 is 20. Plus 2 is 22. Hey, I got 225. Okay, that's under 261. Let's put the 5 up here. Let's put 225 down here. And I subtract. Again, so that you don't get confused with tons of numbers on my screen, I'm going to erase our little guess and check. All right. Let's do 261, subtract 225. Again, I got to borrow. This becomes a 5. This becomes a 11. 11 subtract 5 is 6. 5 subtract 2 is 3. 2 subtract 2 is nothing. Okay, so now I have 9.5, remainder 36. But remember, I'm not going to have a remainder when I do decimals. Instead, I'm going to do what I did yesterday. Add a 0 to the end of the dividend. Drop down that 0. And now say 45 into 360. Okay? Well, I know that 45 times 9 is 405. What's 405 subtract 45? Hey, that's 360. Let's double check. Let's do 360 times 8. And we'll double check to see if this works. Oops, I'm sorry. Mr. Ivan made a mistake. Not 360 times 8. That would get us a way wrong number. What's divisor? 45 times 8. Multiply it out. All right, now let's multiply it. 5 times 8 is 40. Put down the 0. Carry the 4. 8 times 4 is 32. Plus 4 is 36. Hey, it works out. 360. So I'm going to put an 8 up here. Divide, multiply, subtract 360. Subtract 360, of course, is 0. Now that I have 0 left, I can be done. Well, what should my answer be? Let's make a little space where we can write our answer. Change my color so I can see it clearly. Zeros before a number and zeros after the number don't change the value. So I don't need to include these two zeros in my answer. Instead, I can just say 9 and 58/100ths. Or if you're thinking of dollars and cents, $9.58. All right, 5th grade, put that into practice today on 5.6 homework. Did an easier problem, then a harder. Notice number 13 is extra credit. Good luck.